Hi, I'm Christie Brinkley. I'm a model and first and foremost a mom of 3. And what I love about beauty is that it's literally everywhere. I see beauty in people and in flowers, in the sky, in the clouds. It's everywhere.
My name is Randi Shinder. I'm a founder and CEO of SBLA Beauty. And what I love about beauty is that it gives me the opportunity to be creative and offer amazing at-home solutions to women.
From New York City, you're listening to Beauty is Your Business, covering the intersection of innovation and business in the beauty industry.
Hi, this is Abby Wallach for Beauty is Your Business. I'm here with my co-host, April Franzino.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, Christie and Randi. We're so excited to chat.
So hi, Christie and Randi. It's so exciting to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. So it's such an exciting opportunity to learn about this partnership that you have formed together. And I think it would be great if we can have Randi share a little bit about SBLA Beauty and what it means to her and how she's evolved with that. And then talk about you, Christie, and your incredible career in the beauty industry as an entrepreneur, and really discover and explore what you're doing and what your goals are with this new partnership together.
I've been in the industry a long time, and the brands have evolved from one to another. There was clean, there was dessert beauty, there was lip fusion / fusion beauty, there was I Smell Great. And then getting older, I'm 54, I was pretty focused on my neck area. It was a few years ago. And I think women at some point, whether it's in your 40s or 50s or 60s, start to focus on that area. It's the area that first shows aging. And I think that as women, we can be pretty critical of, whether it's the neck, the chin, the jawline, keeping our jawline sculpted, our décolleté clear and youthful. I think Christie and I have an interesting approach to how we see anti-aging, and it's more about aging beautifully, and it's more about helping women age beautifully as opposed to just anti-aging, because we all want to age. It's much better than the alternative. So Christie and I both have daughters in their 20s, and it's important to relay a message that it's important to look after your skin and at the same time to love yourself. So we try to empower them and others with opportunities to solve certain problems on their own, at home, on their own terms. And I couldn't think of a better partner than Christie. And she was using the wands, and I got a phone call one day. And this has happened to me a few times in my career where I get this really interesting phone call and it turns into this amazing, inevitable, beautiful situation where I have the ultimate partner who epitomizes beauty for so many generations of people, as well as an understanding of the industry, and is certainly iconic in terms of a representation of what beauty is inside and out. Shared values in terms of family, putting our children first. And I'm not a model. I'm not Christie Brinkley. That's okay with me. But I defer to her great, style advice. Look how beautiful she looks. I mean, I'm always in awe. I'm like, I go onto every live. I'm just like, I don't understand this. But she lights up a screen. So we're a lucky brand to have her. And Christie's an owner of this brand. I want to be very clear. So a legitimate equity shareholder partner in every sense.
Christie, you've had such an incredible, admirable, beautiful career. So how have you evolved into this? This is a whole new business for you, so to speak, even though you've done so much in beauty in your career. Where are you at today moving forward? Tell us everything.
Well, I mean, I have been very lucky to be able to say that I've been in this business for 48 years now. And, this is a business that when I first got into it completely by accident, I was told then that this is similar to like an athlete, that you're going to have a couple good years and then that's it. They said by the time you're 30, they'll chew you up and spit you out and it'll be all over. And 30 came and went like years ago. And I'm 67 now. The number just doesn't feel like it matches my spirit, but that is my assigned number. And I feel very lucky to have that other number of 48 years of adventures and experience in this industry. And I have been a part of the beauty industry for a long time because I had the longest, I think it's actually still the longest cosmetic contract that anybody's ever had. I was with CoverGirl makeup for 20 something years, and then we were apart for 10 years. Then we got back together again 10 years later for another, 5 years or so. And so I got to learn a lot from them. I really did, just watching them as they created products that evolved and the way they evolved their brand and everything. Besides that, I've done all kinds of other things along the way. So it's been a great career. I don't know at what point it evolved that I started having more of a hand in things instead of being a model, but a partner. And I like it a lot. I like all the creativity involved. I love partnerships. I love people. I love working with people. And I love products that really keep the people that we're targeting, in mind. Like, how can we help them? How can we make their life better? How can we make it easier, happier, more convenient, faster, whatever it is, we're trying to make an improvement for them. And that's exciting. So I believe about, halfway through quarantine, I was on a Zoom call with friends and we were all talking about, what are you guys doing for the, mask knee, the MAC knee, or whatever they called it, the dry skin from all the masks, all of the beauty issues that everybody was having. Nobody was able to get to go get a facial, go to the dermatologist for any like puff and fluff and whatever, goes on. And so I said, hey, anybody have try any great products? And one friend piped up and said, well, I've been using these wands and they're amazing. And she really gave a rave review that sounded almost too good to be true. She said, but I'm going to send you some. You've got to try them. They're amazing. And I tried them and I did see improvement. The facial sculpting wand, the small one, which is designed for the face, obviously the facial one. I used this and I thought, am I imagining things, or is this really immediately making my forehead lines look less visible? I had to call at a certain point. I was like, wow. And this neck wand, I was using it from here all the way down. And I had noticed sometime just prior to that I had almost like a V-neck shirt on with lines that went like a V here. I thought that maybe it was from sleeping on my side, creases like that. And after like very little time, I thought, these are really working. And I've got to find out why, because they didn't have a whole lot on the box. Randi, we should really pump that up because there's a lot of good things that we could say on the box.
Where's the wand? Can we get some?
We're actually sold out right now. So the new production is coming, and the call outs and some of the things that we've discovered along the way, thankfully, we're incorporating into, really what each product offers. And we've realized that, there's so much more that we've discovered by playing with the wands and the technology than we even realized. Like, for instance, I've been using the XL wand on my neck and my jawline, and it's amazing at some women who had really bad jowls, and even some people who've gone through chemotherapy whose skin became very, very lax. They used it and they sent us unsolicited before and afters, and their results were, nothing makes you happier as a founder than when you get that kind of imagery and you can see that you've actually really made somebody feel so much better about how they look, and their results are just unbelievable. And when they want to share with others or help others and tell their story, that to me is the most satisfying part of being a founder or a co-founder. I really do love hearing stories from other women and how it's helped them. And I've also been able to watch Christie sort of, before she contacted me, she'd been using the wands for a little while, but I think she was a few weeks in. But when she called me, she still had some of that discoloration, and I could see what she was talking about on her chest, but I can't see it at all anymore. It really just disappeared and everything just evened out. And I'm not going to suggest that she needed tons of wanding on her face, but one of the interesting things that happened is our agency of record for our digital ads wanted to just do a test, just have Christie use her tripod camera alone, do a test shot with the face wand. And she had sent it in, and she was watching the wrinkles on her forehead just disappear. She had full movement because she doesn't use Botox in her forehead. And they tell you over the age of 50, don't put Botox up here, everything's going to fall. So she was scrunching her forehead and using the wand in this video, and everything was disappearing, and she'd use it a bit more and everything was disappearing. And then at the end, she just looked in the mirror and she went, like in very Christie Brinkley fashion with a big smile. And we ended up taking that footage, which was never the plan. She's just in her dressing room. There's a rack of clothes behind her, but it's so authentic and real. We actually turned it into an ad, which wasn't at all. This was a test, sort of how to frame, how to film, what's best. But just her reaction was so genuine, and just watching, her results.
Well, there's something in the wand, in the facial wand, that literally it's plant-based something that relaxes the muscles, so that's why when you use it right away, you sort of see, I feel like the lines sort of relax off of you, and get less visible. Obviously, my forehead at this point at 67, it's a little bit like an elbow, it's got to have a few wrinkles. That's just the way it is. So some of them are going to stay there. That's just how it is. But they are so much less visible and so much easier to deal with. I just love it. As she said, like the way that this evens out the skin tones, as well as diminish the fine lines, like the little necklace lines. And I have a couple girlfriends that have been using this, and you go longer periods right now, I find, between seeing your friends, because everybody's still sort of trepidatious about getting out there, And so when I saw both friends recently, and I said, wow, their jawlines really tightened up from this. It was truly visible. One of my friends said that her friends actually accused her of having work done. They're like, come on, what did you do? And she said, I swear, it was this.
And when Christie was in the islands during the winter, I sent her samples of the new Lip Plump and Sculpt, and I have new ones for you actually as of last night, Christie, as well. So we're doing an XL version of our Lip Plump and Sculpt as well. But I had sent her the Lip Plumper, and people were asking her on an island, off an island, she got her lips enhanced, and she's like, I'm on an island. What do you mean? Like, where?
Yeah, I went down there, and I was down there for almost a month, and I'd been down there a while, and then this arrived, and I put it on, and they're like, oh my God, she got injections. Oh my God, look at her lips. She plumped her lips. It's like, guys, I'm on a deserted island. So I guess it definitely worked.
I know. Randi, can you walk us through a little bit of the technology behind the wand and sort of how the brand was born?
The initial offering was launched on a vertical. So it was the original neck wand only when we first launched, which was late 2018. And I had no understanding whatsoever of digital marketing or ads or how to run them or agencies and how they worked. And so that was a new world for me, because it used to be, if I had a new product offering, I would simply buy a page or a double truck in InStyle, Vogue, whatever, and I consider myself a marketer, but somebody reminded me also that I'm not a formulator, but I redirect formulations until I'm happy with them. So I was given the device. So the interesting thing about this product is that it's a device, but it's not something that you have to plug in or recharge, but it's a device with a serum inside that actually has real technology. I'm very interested in science. After the success of Lip Fusion and Fusion Beauty, and I left at a certain point during Fusion Beauty because they went in all different directions. And quite frankly, that wasn't my vision of the brand. And, like many other brands, I had sold a majority equity piece and it was just time for me to move on. But as far as the science goes, it had a technology that we call biomimicking, where it creates a macrosphere on the neck, chin, jawline, which is the area that we were marketing it to, which trains your skin to behave in the way it did when it was in its prime. So it's invisible. You don't feel it. There's no stickiness or tackiness to it. However, it delivers certain actives, all that are encapsulated in a sphere, and they actually get released in their time released. And so you'll see visible results, but if somebody sticks with the wand for a couple weeks, I say, the max out is at 17 days where you're going to see sort of your best results and then keep improving a little bit. But at 17 days, you should be able to look in the mirror and say, oh, wow, this looks so much better. I mean, you would see it right away, to be honest with you, because, even the application device, the antimicrobial steel applicator is somewhat malleable, so it can go in and out. And it can be quite a vigorous application. I can be very vigorous when I apply it. I don't care if I turn bright red. I don't care if I like sensory. So we are focusing on other areas of the body and things like that, and different application devices that actually meet our customers' requirements, but also we tool our own components. So that's something interesting as well. So I saw a device that was similar. Initially, we started using it. It didn't meet the standards, the brand standards. So we actually began tooling our own components and making sure that they do. That's part of the ongoing story. Initially, I had met a makeup artist in LA via another partner of ours who's a little bit more in operations and behind the scenes. And so he was involved. So Spencer was involved at the beginning, and he was using it on all of his clients who loved it. And part of the reason they loved it is because if they're actors or models, and I'm sure Christie can speak more to this, there's not a lot available for the neck. And one of the things that Spencer would say is that when I'm applying makeup, when I get to the neck area, I have to use something super moisturizing, but there's nothing really that, if someone has deep lines, like deep necklace lines as an example, as well as platysma bands, which we all have, some of us inject them or whatever, it doesn't matter, but either way, they never go away completely. Or jowls, there's only so much makeup can do. So it was giving him a tool to use and to hand to his clients and say, please use this. I need you to use it every day, every morning and every night on clean skin. And it was making a difference. Now, of course, some of these people had beauty obligations with other companies at the time, and some didn't. So some were pretty outspoken about their results and happy, and then some quietly used it. But overall, my focus is on filling white space in the industry, and there's not a lot of it, to be honest. There's a lot of neck creams on the market. Every brand has a neck cream, and it's funny because before launching, I met with the CEO of a large skincare company that had just traded, and he was in his final month of his non-compete, and we spent the day together, and I said, oh, I used to use your brand's neck cream. And he said, it's just a moisturizer. I said, right, because that's what neck creams are. They're moisturizers. There's nothing really that is meant to work on the very thin, crepey skin that is the neck. That's just how it is. It's the thinnest skin on our body. So we need something that's going to absorb and that's going to actually deal with wrinkles in a different way and without efficacy right now in terms of, we'll call it anti-aging or aging beautifully, it doesn't really matter. Without efficacy and without being able to make a brand statement and a brand promise and then deliver on it, I don't know. I can't understand that kind. And it couldn't leave a film. It it couldn't be something that you could see or feel or be tacky or sticky. It just had to be there and start to work and do its thing. And that's what I found. So the interesting thing was in the first 5 months, just running Facebook ads, just clueless to the whole thing, which is sort of how I got into this industry in the first place. Just, I don't want to say I got lucky. It's always a little bit of luck mixed with a little bit of filling the white space, clean perfume, wasn't on the fragrance wheel. Suddenly you can smell shower fresh and clean by using a perfume for $80. Somebody just, somebody laughed and said, like, that's just a no-brainer, yet nobody thought of it. It's sort of a similar idea, just with a little bit more science behind it. Find the right scientist. I knew where to go. I had done multiple launches under Fusion that were all scientifically based. So, and people to this day, including Christie and other models that I'm friendly with or just, have had conversations with, have all indicated to me that every model used lip fusion. Every model, like whether it was before a runway show or they had it in their purse or they had every single shade or color, but it was one of those products that was universally sought after. We had to sell out in a day. And that is an example of, it was sort of history repeating itself for me. So I think in the first 5 months, we did $8.3 million on Facebook ads alone, and with a very strong ROAS. And that told me, okay, well, this is something much more than a single SKU vertical neck wand. And then you have to sit back and you have to look at, the fact that you're not just launching a product, but you're launching a brand, and where does it go from here? And, we first went into face, and then we started to, formulate and perfect that. And you go through different iterations. And then we started thinking about lip plumpers again, and how nothing's really ever come close to lip fusion and taking that science, but bringing it to a more current level of, what's available on the market and how to really plump using some of the concepts of lip fusion. But like I said, there's other opportunities now available in terms of science that we're using. And we'll be doing 2 very unique lip plumpers for the fall season, like getting into holiday. And I like to take it a little bit slowly when you're building a brand, because so many brands are just, I watch what's happening. It's just like, I don't even know what to buy half the time anymore. It's just so many products and so many eye products and so many, various, I like what I like. And I go back to the same things over and over again. And I think, like me, a lot of women, hundreds of thousands of women actually, have decided that the neck wand, as an example, is their go-to for that area, for their décolleté, their neck, and their chin and their jawline, whichever one they want to use. Or we sell them as a combined duo pack if they're doing it as a nighttime treatment and daytime treatment. Some people carry it around with them. They have an event, and just, they get, before they get out of the car, they take it out of their purse and they put it on. And we created like this huge library of assets. And then when Christie called, I just thought, it was actually first Christie's publicist called and said, I love these wands. Christie loves these wands. We need to get you guys on the phone together. And I just thought, well, I followed Christie's career. I'm 54. I'm very familiar with the covers and the beauty and, CoverGirl, clean makeup, eye eczema, and all the taglines and everything that, we used to see. And, I see Christie and I see her family, and it's just, she doesn't remember. And I understand why she doesn't remember, because I didn't even say hello to her, but we actually shared a dressing room. The day before I was receiving a CEW award, I was in New York. I just had my teeth whitened and I was getting zingers, and I just couldn't talk. I had to get out of there. So, but I had remembered meeting her, and I just thought, this is just, like I said, sometimes you feel right, beautifully inevitable. And every time Christie shows people how to use the wand, talks about, the usage of the wand, what it does, like in this authentic, real way, it's really interesting what I can see for the brand and what happens. The business is strong and the business is growing, and I'm very comfortable in the direction that we're going in. And I think that there's so much more excitement ahead for us, and this is a fun business to build and a fun partnership. And I think that's the most important thing, because if you're not, these days, especially if you're not having fun, why bother? But this is This is one of those beauty brands that I believe, like Fusion, will go down as one of the great beauty brands. We're a great team. We're a lean team because no one's in offices and hiring all people all over the place. It's very complicated. But even through the complications, we were able to deliver to people during the pandemic something that they had no access to, which was science and the ability to do something about problem areas in their homes. And I think that's part of the reason why the brand has maintained its success and even grown. We grew during the pandemic, and I don't like saying that very often because I saw too much suffering and have watched it firsthand. So for mankind, it's a disaster, biggest disaster I can imagine. But, truthfully, it's just, it's great to actually be able to help people and be successful at the same time. And we're very lucky.
It's such an exciting moment. Yes, there's so many sad things happening in our world, and it's hard to even bear it for all of us. But I'm sitting here looking at myself on the Zoom and thinking every woman out there has been looking at themselves on Zoom for the past 18 months. So the wand is definitely needed because it's all about the neck. Such an exciting partnership that you formed, and we wish you so much luck.
Have you taken a look at StoryDot yet? Every brand and every product has a story to tell, and you can't successfully sell that brand or product without telling the story. StoryDot delivers your story wherever you want it to be heard. You can meet your customers at each point in their journey, connecting the dots between your business and the consumer to enhance engagement, experience, and conversion. I encourage you to take a look at StoryDot at storydot.com. That's STORIDOT.com.
And now it's Hitting the Pan.
It's at this time in the show where we get an up close and personal look at our guests. I'm going to pass the wand to April so she can start.
Sure. This is such a fun, exciting opportunity to get to ask you both. So obviously, beauty and wellness have become one and the same, especially as of late. I think everybody realizes the connection between how we look and how we feel on the inside. What are your wellness secrets? What are the things that you have to do every day to make you feel and therefore look your best?
I think all those basic things that we all know truly are important. And to feed your body, I believe in a rainbow diet. I'm a lifelong vegetarian, and I do believe that has given me a little bit of an advantage in terms of people say they want to know like anti-aging secrets and stuff. But when you think that cattle are given growth hormones to make them age faster, to get them to market faster. And I haven't had any of that. I haven't had any of the antibiotics that they inject in all the animals. So I think that if you're not vegetarian or vegan, now would be a great time to do it because there's more toxins and pollutants in our environment than ever. And our planet needs us, and it's a great way to help the planet as well. While you're feeding your body, fueling your body with all these colors and that just give you vibrant, good health, you're also eliminating one of the major causes of carbon, which is the meat industry. So that is something that everybody could get on board with and really make a huge difference in the way you feel and in your planet. And then I also believe beyond the rainbow diet, I think it's important to get some exercise in your life, to move it. I always say if I don't move it, it rusts. And I like to grease those joints and keep them moving. I'm very active, probably too active, which is why I had to have my hip replaced this year during quarantine. And I also want to just encourage your listeners, if you've been putting that off, if you've been feeling like I did, I put it off because I had injured my hip like 20 years ago in a helicopter crash on top of a mountain. And ever since then, the pain got worse and worse every year. But I thought it's such an overwhelming idea, but it was such a piece of cake. And now my hip feels great. My right hip feels so good. I want to do my left one now. So I think, diet and exercise are two of the most important things. And then, of course, great skincare really does matter. And I witnessed that firsthand when I was on tour with my ex-husband, Billy Joel, in the Soviet Union. Before they had access to rainbow diets and beauty products, they literally would come up to me. I was about 30 at the time, and they would literally touch my skin and say, 30 to each other, 30, like it was like some miracle that my skin looked like that at 30, because they didn't have moisturizing creams, sunblocks, all of that. They didn't have rainbow diets, to help them. And it really does make a difference. And then I think the final thing, it probably is the most important of all, is an attitude of gratitude. Because I truly believe that is the secret key to a happy life. And I believe that the first thing that comes into the room, you may think it's your hair, but it's actually your attitude. And I think that when you can find a way to just feel grateful for like the day that you have been gifted, that's the secret right there. But coming in a quick second right behind it is SBLA right there. Attitude of gratitude for this, for the sunshine behind me, for my health. By the time I go through my list, I just feel great and energized. And I think that that's something that sometimes women that get too overly involved in, oh, but I don't think it's the cream. I think it's the filler. It's like, get the cream, get the filler if you want. Do whatever you want, but go on and be happy. That's what's important. It's there to make you happy. SBLA is there to help you find your happiness. Help you get out the door faster and do what you love. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel passionate about it. Get out there. Do it. Promise you, this gets you out the door faster. When you feel like you have that little perk, just that little tweak, that little zhuzh, you're like, all right, well, I'm not going to stress it. I'm heading out the door. And I promise you, that's what you'll get.
Love it. That is amazing. I feel like we're all so motivated and uplifted just hearing that. Thank you so much. And what about you, Randi? What are your wellness secrets?
I definitely believe in something that Christie said, and that's that grateful people are happy people. I think if you live your life without gratitude, you'll never find happiness. And I also believe, I have 2 children that are in their mid-20s. So this is something that I try to tell them all the time, that your happiness is really an inside job. There's nothing external that's going to make, to be honest with you, my daughter is a marine biologist, scientist. She does all kinds of amazing things. And when she's interacting with marine mammals, Christie loves what my daughter does. So that's an extraordinary situation, because she's hands-on with either a pod of dolphins or saving a sea lion, or things that everybody talks about that they'd love to do, but nobody actually does it. So that, I always say to her, when she graduated, I referred to the Seinfeld episode, anybody know a marine biologist? And I ended it with I do.
Randi, I'm laughing because I just have to say very quickly, off topic, I saved 2 fish a couple days ago at the beach because this giant seagull was flying overhead, and he dropped the fish out of his feet onto the beach, onto the sand. It was a hot day, and the fish was flopping around out there. And my son Jack and I were in the water swimming. We said, that seagull just dropped the fish. And he goes, maybe she's going to circle back and get it. But the seagull went on, so we said, quick! And we were like, swam in. We got the fish off the shore, and we brought it back gently into the water, and we aimed it, and it swam off. And lo and behold, 5 minutes later, I'm sitting back up on the beach now, and I said, look, here comes another seagull with a fish. And this seagull comes, drops that fish right in front of us again. What are the chances? So random. 2 fish right in front of us. And this time Ryan, my daughter Alexa's fiance, he was right there. And he was like, it's like raining fish. Anyway, so we got that other fish out. We aimed it back. We're like, go little fish, you're free. So tell your daughter, we saved.
Maybe that's your next career.
Yeah.
It is. Christie loves all the animal saving stories. I also have other things that I do like Christie in terms of diet and everything. In terms of my belief system, it's not just all about being grateful, but also I was vegan for a very long time. I decided to very carefully add some chicken back into my diet. I'm not a big fish fan for a number of reasons, not because I don't like fish, but because I worry about mercury poisoning and things like that. There's a comedian who does this kind of skit, but I always ask if the chicken is organic, naturally raised. I will not touch it otherwise. And I'll say, does it play nice with the other chickens? And they just look at me like I'm crazy, but I actually mean it. So other than that, I will not eat any red meat whatsoever. I will not eat anything meat-wise other than some chicken, and it's merely because autoimmune Hashimoto. So I can't have broccoli, I can't have cauliflower, I can't have Brussels. There's just all these weird things that I can't have. So I have to figure out how to get a little bit. I can't have kale. Like there's just things that are strangely restricted. So they produce an autoimmune response. So interestingly, I understand what Christie says about like, if you're healthy on the inside, it shows on the outside. And ever since I started eating much cleaner, which was not so many years ago now, I could see that my skin completely changed. It's clear on its own. And, my hair is thicker, and I had such bad anemia because I didn't have enough iron and all those things. And it's all gone away. So I think there's so much truth in all of that. And what you do on the inside absolutely shows on the outside. I also don't really drink very much anymore, just a little bit now and then, just for fun. But there's no reason for it except that it's just, I do what makes me feel good.
Such a great interview with both of you ladies. You have so much to share. It's fascinating and so exciting. Tell us how our audience can reach you and learn more about the wand and where they can purchase it.
We only sell the wand right now on SBLA.com. It's also available on Amazon. We are sold out of our face wand right now, but we are taking pre-orders. We'll be shipping again in a couple of weeks. We're on our way to sell it a neck wand too. But that's largely due in part to the fact that like the timing, I think what's happening, I think people are concerned about going back into lockdown, mask mandates, etc. There's this increase in COVID. I don't even know. And also, Christie is such a great spokesperson and we create such great product. And I think people are seeing their results. We have a huge repeat customer rate.
We just got an award.
Yeah, we just won Best in Skincare from Hollywood Beauty Award. This is our first award.
We're also on Instagram at SBLA Beauty on Instagram. And then we both have our own, I'm under Christie Brinkley on Instagram as well.
Thank you both so much for sharing your story and this fantastic partnership and new technology. We're so excited to learn about it. We wish you so much success. And this is Abby Wallach signing off for Beauty is Your Business with April Franzino.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Randi and Christie. It was so nice to see you.
Thank you, Abby. April, Karen.
This has been Beauty is Your Business. Produced by Mouth Media Network. Copyright 2021. Keep in touch on Instagram and Facebook at Mouth Media Network. And find prior episodes at beautyisyourbusiness.com and wherever the best podcasts are found. Your brand message can be on this show. Email us to find out more at podcast@mouthmedianetwork.com. Thank you for listening.